right, so in Phoenix for Super Bowl week. I'm not staying for the Super Bowl here Monday through Thursday. Woke up early this morning, got a financial literacy keynote with a local high school out here. The principal or like an AD or something, it's an NFL alumni, and he's connecting with the Sports Philanthropy Network, who I do some work with. Shout out to Kayla Bradham, who's blessing me with this opportunity. So initially, I wasn't going to go to Super Bowl, but this opportunity came about, and it was going to be a great opportunity to reconnect with some folks that I haven't seen in a while. So I jumped at the opportunity, and now I'm doing a keynote financial presentation. I just got the call from Kayla that the other gentleman who I was looking forward to meet, because he's a former NFL player, works at Visa, just wanted to make that strategic connection. His flight got delayed, so she calls me saying I had to do a 30-minute keynote speech. I had my whole keynote prepared. It was going to be a quick 12 minutes. It's going to talk about, you'll have to wait for that. And then now I'm going to try to figure out how to remix it or add on to it, but it should be fun. So we'll see how it goes. Woke up early this morning, got over to the airport, quick flight in. Would have came in last night, but they're trying to jack up these prices. So I decided to come in early morning and get it done. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it goes well. Excited to speak to the youth and teach them about something I'm passionate about, which is financial literacy and how you can leverage your finances to hopefully build freedom and go from there. You're all wondering why a soccer player is here when this is the NFL and the Super Bowl coming this Sunday. But financial literacy is something that brings us all together. It's something that we all deal with, whether good or bad. So it's important to talk about some of the principles. Just to give you a little bit of a rundown, I am a Mobi Kugo, first generation Nigerian American. My parents immigrated here from Nigeria in the late 70s, early 80s. I was fortunate enough to be the oldest of 4 siblings. Grew up playing soccer and basketball, a little bit of football, some volleyball, some track and field, but soccer is the one that helped me get to where I am today. As they just announced, I played 12 years professionally, a couple years in the MLS, and then a couple years in USL, and then now I'm doing a little bit of business stuff. See a couple of jerseys in here. I see Kansas City jersey, I see some Steelers, I see some Cowboys, but no Cardinals. Why is that? Who are we going for? We're going for the
Go Eagles!
No! Chiefs. Okay. Are we going for the Chiefs?
Chiefs. Go Eagles!
Chiefs. Okay. That's cool. Okay. So when I got the call to come here to speak, I was kind of surprised. I was like, I don't play football. I know football, I watch it, but I play soccer. So I was thinking about what I was going to talk about. And when it comes to finances, we all control our finances, much like a quarterback, right? Quarterback controls the game. They're the leader on the team for a reason. They direct where the team goes. But quarterback can't do it himself, right? Quarterback needs a running back. Quarterback needs a wide receiver. They need a playbook. They need staff. But most importantly, the quarterback needs the offensive line. So I want the NFL alumni to keep me honest as I go through this speech. So the offensive line, there's 5 positions in the offensive line, and we're going to use these as building blocks or principles as we talk about financial literacy. You got your left tackle. You got your left guard. You got your center. That's the one that snaps the ball, right? All right. Okay. You got your right guard and your right tackle. And each of these positions will help the quarterback move up the field to score a touchdown. So last year, if you're all familiar, Cincinnati Bengals, they didn't really have the greatest offensive line, so I've been told. Joe Burrow used to get sacked all the time. So if we liken it to financial literacy, the same holds true. If you don't have your offensive line or your financial blocks in place, you'll end up getting sacked, and you won't be scoring touchdowns. So I'm going to go through each position. So left tackle, and I want y'all to help me out too. So anyone here plays football? Oh, okay, cool. So what is the left tackle known for? Protecting the blind side, right? Anyone seen the movie Blind Side? So in most cases, the quarterback's right-handed, so when they drop back, three-step drop, they're facing this side. So the left tackle has everything on the blind side. If we liken that to financial literacy, that is your emergency fund. So I got this call today, came in prepared. I was gonna have 12 minutes to do a keynote speech. Kayla calls me an hour ago saying the other person, their flight got canceled. We got to call audible. You're gonna have to talk a little bit longer. In life, we all deal with audibles, right? So I have to trust my left tackle to understand that if there's an audible, that he got my back. In life, there's going to be emergencies. Financially, you got to understand that an emergency fund helps us in the case of, say, I lose a job. Athletes, we all lose jobs at one point or another. I've been traded 5 times. So, what does that emergency fund look like? Any pointers? Perfect. So an emergency fund is something where, in case of emergency, you have to cover your bases. In most cases, 6 times your monthly income. So, for example, if I'm making $1,000 a month, I stop making $1,000 a month. An emergency fund ideally would be $6,000, so that can last for 6 months. Obviously, we're using small numbers just to get the point across. So that's my left tackle. So I want you guys to think about my blind side is my emergency fund. So whatever I'm doing, you have to think with the end in sight. Unfortunately, we don't, as athletes, we don't think, oh, my career is going to be over, I might get traded. We're all competitive. We all think we're the best in the position that we are. But we have to always protect our blind side. And that's what emergency fund is. Left guard. So left guard is like the central gap, right? So this is more taxes and savings. Taxes and savings. Everyone knows Uncle Sam? You can't get away from Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam is the guy that's going to show up at any party, uninvited or not. So your left guard is to understand that you have to account for taxes and you have to save. I mentioned our emergency fund, but this is a different kind of scenario. So say you make $1,000, like I said earlier, we're just using the same number to get the point across. We have to account for taxes. In some states, you have state income tax. In some states, you don't. There's a reason why Tom Brady went from New England to Florida. We'll get into that a little bit later. But it's important to account for taxes. You have to pay for state income tax, federal tax, city tax. There's all these different taxes that come into play when you're making money, which you all either will do soon or already doing as you guys have jobs as well. Next, financial literacy, offensive tackle position, the center. So everyone knows the center, right? Did y'all see Jason Kelsey, the center for the Philadelphia Eagles? Y'all saw his little celebration, his little dance? So they control the line of scrimmage. They're 1-on-1 with the quarterback. They help the quarterback manage the game, make the calls, audible, all that. This is probably the most important. Your budget. Your budget, your budget, your budget. I can't stress it enough. Your budget is the center to everything that you're going to be doing in life when it comes to financial literacy. How much you're making, how much you're spending, what are your expenses, where are your spending habits going. If you understand your budget, you'll have better control of the line of scrimmage, like a quarterback. Your right guard, so this is opposite from your left guard, still covering the central gap. Similar in the sense of when I said the left guard is taxes and savings, your right guard is credit and debt. So understanding your credit and your debt, real quick. Everyone understand debt?
Perfect. And you're doing a good job with this school. I understand that. So, yeah, debt is how much you owe. Credit is, and it was funny because I was talking last week with a gentleman. He was asking, how can I get credit through to my players? Like, in a way to get them to understand what credit is. Credit is essentially, can I vouch for you? So everyone has a friend or a new friend that comes and they're saying, like if you bring a friend to a new group of friends, they're like, who's this guy? Oh, don't worry, I can vouch for him. That is the same that holds true when it comes to credit. Are you vouch worthy? Obviously there's different complex intricacies when it comes to credit, like credit score, credit history, different things like that, but for time's sake, your right guard is your credit and your debit. And your right tackle, please correct me if I'm wrong, your right tackle is best for run blocking. So if you want to, if you're a run heavy team, your right tackle has to be a good run blocker. Yes, perfect. Okay, so your run blocker, your right tackle is for investing. Because it doesn't matter how much money you keep. No, sorry. It doesn't matter how much money you make. It matters how much money you keep. But on top of that, it matters how much you can take your money to make it as an asset. So my favorite quote is get money, buy income. So what does that mean? Money is a tool to make more money. We can only work 24 hours in a day. So if we're working, we're going to grind ourselves and end up getting tired. But money is a tool that can work for itself. So understanding investing, compound interest, investing in different things that fit your identity profile are all important to run forward, as a quarterback. So these are the 5 principles or the 5 positions as it pertains to financial literacy. If you miss any of these things, you'll get sacked. If you do these things well, you'll get first downs. And eventually you get touchdowns. And that's what we need to do in life. We got to quarterback our financial situations. We can't allow others to take advantage of us. We can't allow others to control our financial situations. So we have to do the research, we have to be proactive, and we have to ask questions. There's plenty of people here that can be a resource for you to use the right playbook to be the best quarterback for your own financial, your life. So hopefully that was a good segue to football. I hope left tackle, left guard, center, right guard, right tackle. If you guys can use those to apply that to your own financial playbook, that would be great. But I want to spend the rest of the time, I'm not sure how much time I have to do it. 5 minutes? Oh, wow. 10? All right, perfect. So I would love to do some Q&A. I know we're going to get in the panel with some other esteemed guests, but if anyone has any questions as it regards to financial literacy, don't hesitate to ask.
What are some of the big investments you've made?
That's a great question. So one of the biggest investments I've made is in myself. And I think the biggest thing when it comes to finances, especially with athletes, we get faced with a lot of deal flow. People will come to us with different deals, with lavish businesses, but at the end of the day, we have to invest in ourselves first. We have to invest in our education, whether it's in school, not just school, but outside knowledge, mentors, masterminds, different situations to learn if I'm passionate about a certain topic, so that I'm able to ask better questions when a deal may come my way. So I think the biggest investment that you can make outside of real estate or stocks or crypto's popular, you got to invest in yourself first. So that's a great question, but yeah, definitely invest in yourself first. Go ahead.
What is things, in order to keep a good credit, what would you say are things that you do to keep a good credit?
That's a great question. So in terms of credit, I mentioned credit is, are you vouch worthy? So credit, you got your credit history, you got your credit score, there's other things, how many credit cards you have, and obviously I'm not a financial advisor, so take this with a grain of salt. Make sure you consult with people in higher positions when it comes to the money, whatever your schedule is. But most importantly, you want to make sure that you're understanding the transactions with your credit card or the contract. There's different scenarios, whether it's if your credit card APY versus APR. These are things that you need to understand as you try to build credit, but also try to maximize your credit score. I'm sorry.
At what age should the students start thinking about these things?
This is a great question, sir. So I'll tell you the story my dad told me. So at what age, the question was, at what age should you start thinking about those things? So I got drafted when I was 18 out of UCLA to Philadelphia. Obviously, soccer is not at the NFL level from a compensation standpoint. But I got drafted, everyone was congratulating me, my phone's blowing up. And the first thing my dad said to me, if anyone here knows Nigerian parents, they're very strict. Anyone know Nigerian parents? Okay, perfect, so you know. My dad said, congrats, you're closer to the end of your career than the start of it. And I was like, wait, what? How is that possible? It's like, you're closer to the end of your career than the start of it. And it was just to keep in mind that sports is not promised, so use sports as a vehicle for your life. We're all going to be, not everyone could be a pro in sports, but everyone could be a pro in life. So understanding using sports as a vehicle. So to answer your question, I would say today. I mean, the best time was 20 years ago, the second best time is today. So when it comes to understanding your finances, even if you don't have a job, even if you're not making money, doing the research, investing in yourself, asking questions, so that when you do, you're using this as a springboard and you got a head start instead of playing on the back foot. And yeah, that's it. I think we are on time. I hope you all learned a little bit. Oh, sorry, is that a question? All right, go ahead. Might have to speak up though, sorry. Oh, okay, great question. So you always get this question from Nigerian. So I'm from Abia State, or my parents are from Abia State, Arachuku, Amubi Village. So my family's Igbo. Everyone's familiar. I'm gonna come back and ask you too, so if you know. But yeah, I really appreciate you showing me respect and taking some time to listen about financial literacy. You will learn a lot more from some of the guests that come up, and just remember, be the quarterback of your financial life.
All right, when I say 3, I'm gonna count down from 3 to 1.
All right, what are your thoughts?
It was good. It was a lot of talking. It was very, it was very good for like learning abilities and stuff. Like because a lot of people here, especially like you don't get to talk to like this.
All right, so got it done. It went well. Obviously, as an athlete, you always think you could do better. So we're gonna, look for some things to improve on. But to be honest, I thought it went well. The thing about a keynote is like whatever you have, like 10 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, it always feels like a long time, but then it feels like a short time as well. So you got to understand, or one thing that I got to work on is like understanding time, especially when they don't have like a time, sometimes they have like a time block in front of you. But yeah, I thought it was good. The students loved it. The people that I was with, spoke highly of it. So really happy with how it came out and always looking to do more. So we're going to go meet with the rest of the squad at lunch and we'll go from there.